You have had instances in your life where someone has said something offensive, said something that you didn't like, done something that you did not appreciate, that was unwarranted, not asked for, and in your eyes, hurtful. And in the moment, you handled it like a giant. You stood above it. You did not engage in it. You didn't lash out. You didn't go into defense mode. You didn't attack. None of it. But then you got in your car and you roll home. And when we was in school, it was the bus ride or the walk home from school to the house. And as you began to think endlessly on this event in your head, and you begin to reform it into vain imaginations and pictures that you have made in your down idle time, now all of those reactions that you didn't feel begin to rise up in you. And I don't know if you're anything like me. There were a couple times where I had got through moments with no emotional reaction to something unwarranted being presented to me, but thought about it so hard and so long that eventually that day or the next day, that person had to see about me. And that wasn't because I was tough. It was because I was using my imagination against myself. I had no reaction to what that person did because what that person did didn't hurt me, even though what they did may have been done to be hurtful. There is no way for these people to hurt you. Touch not the anointed has absolutely nothing to do with the physical. Understand there is a part of you that no one can touch, no one can tamper with, no one can destroy, no one can lift up, build up, or add to. That is the part of you that is under divine protection at all times. Your body has been operating on the fear of your brain. Your body has been chasing behind the commands of your brain that has been consumed endlessly with your survival in the physical. And you'll say that when you're not hanging around other people, or you're not watching TV, or you're not scrolling through social media, you're not distracted. Understand, in an experience, you were designed to thrive. You've been preoccupied with your physical survival. So even if you've eliminated all of the low vibrating interactions and technological advances that have been offered to you to keep you in this comatose state that you found yourself in, you still have been distracted with survival in place of thriving. You still have been overthinking where you were called to sit, meditate, rest, listen, obey, and act as you hear and see the Father on the inside of you. You still miss the mark, and you brag about missing the mark at a better angle than other people who miss the mark. And I don't understand why you would set out to be so braggadocious about something so petty and minuscule, something so worthless that it almost seems correct to refer to it as a filthy rag. Your deeds, your best of deeds are like a filthy rag in comparison to the gift of life and sustainability that you have been handed freely before you ever had the opportunity to acknowledge the giver. This gift had no conditions on it. This gift still has no conditions on it. This gift will never have any conditions on it other than the pseudo conditions that you place on this gift in place of the true creator that would never ask you to give anything for something you've already been freely given. Duh. We spend so much time lying to ourselves that when it's time to be truthful with ourselves, we don't know how. we're out of practice. We're attempting something that we have no experience with. But what we do know is how to be sad. We do know how to be heavy. We do know how to overthink. We do know how to project. We do know how to be ignorant and how to be stubborn and how to sit in our ignorance and reject the truth and the correction and proper alignments that are being given to us by those in front of us, and the voice within us that is not a byproduct of the ego, but rather the internal guidance system that we all were programmed and embedded with from creation by design.